It's 30 days until I leave. So today is kind of a crazy day, and it's kind of putting a couple of things into perspective for me, because as of today, if everything goes as planned, it is exactly 1 month until I leave. Honestly, I have no idea whatsoever where all of the time went. I had all of these plans, and I don't think any of them are going to happen because a month is such a small amount of time, and that's how long it is. Also, I don't think I've ever been this busy in my entire life. Like, it's amazing. I had this entire bucket list of things to do in the city of Edmonton before I left, and let me tell you, it is failing horribly. I actually think that I have only done one thing off of it. I thought that I was going to be able to do so much more. I am just so busy, just trying to squeeze in family, just trying to prepare myself. It's just crazy how fast the time is going by. Like, tomorrow I'm going to be on this plane, basically, by myself, going to a different country that I've never even been to before. Now, with all that being said, the rest of this video is basically just going to be me checking in, telling you the things that are going on right now, what I'm doing to prepare myself to go on this journey, and so on and so forth. The first thing I'm going to tell you about is my pins. As a Rotary Youth Exchange student, we all have these pins on our blazers that we all get, and we all just basically exchange these pins with the other students that we meet or other people that we might meet, and a lot of the times the students that go on exchange actually make their own pins. I made my own out of just puzzles that I got from the dollar store and some ribbon that my counselor had given to me. I'm actually pretty impressed at how they turned out. So here is one of them. This one says Alberta, and of course they're all different, right? Because they're from all different parts of this map of Canada that was in this puzzle, which was a really amazing idea that I got from a previous exchange student. So as you can see, I actually have quite a few pins on my vest already. So this one is from the exchange student that went to Japan last year. This one's from Brazil. These two are from Thailand. This one's from another Canadian exchange student. This one's from Taiwan. And then I have a bunch of different Rotary ones down here. Another important thing that I've gotten is my suitcases. So I think my parents bought me 3 suitcases, and then we already had 1 suitcase. And I had to go and figure out which ones would be good for which ones I could use as carry-on, and I never even realized how many rules and regulations that there are to bring things onto the plane or have things even underneath the plane. It's a good thing we have internet these days, or else I probably would have never figured this stuff out. Now, let's talk about the language. Mi español es meh. Estoy trabajando en eso. So I've actually made myself this here stack of cue cards, which is actually really helpful. So I have the English on one side, and then I have the Spanish on one side, just so that I can learn what different objects are, and so that I can learn colors and days of the week and easy stuff like that. And they're just simple phrases that I might need to use, but I also have weird phrases her shoe is green, so that I get those different parts of the grammar. I actually have a quite funny and embarrassing story about this cue card in particular. I was doing my cue cards with my brother, and I decided to send my host brother, Lautaro, a video of us doing these cue cards, just to show him kind of what I was doing, and because he always gets a kick out of listening to us try and speak Spanish, right? I sent him a video, and this cue card, which says, "Soy muy caliente," just so happens to be one of the things that I say. And so he messages me back right after that, and he says, "Sarah, soy muy caliente." That is the equivalent of saying, "I am very sexy." So needless to say, I was pretty embarrassed after that, and so of course I asked him how I can say, "I am very hot," because that was what I was going for. I had asked my mother some phrases that I should know, and she said, well, since you're going to a country that is warmer than the one that you currently live in, you should probably figure out how to say, "I'm too hot right now, I need to sit down," or "I need a drink of water." So I had accidentally started to learn how to tell people that I was incredibly attractive. Not one of my greatest moments. Another story about me learning this wonderful language. So when I called the consulate to ask someone about my visa and all that information, it was very early in the morning, and so I called, and a very nice lady answered, and she said, "Hello, the Argentina consulate. Good morning. What can I do for you?" Except she said all of that in Spanish. So I just sat on the other end of the phone for a second. I was very taken aback. Nobody's ever answered the phone speaking full-on Spanish to me anymore. So I just sat at the other end, just kind of had this look on my face for about 15 seconds before I realized that I had no idea what she had just said. Now, of course, I could have answered her in Spanish and asked her if I could please talk to her in English, but I didn't think of that, so I just went, "Can I talk to you in English, please?" And so of course she just said, "Yeah, okay, for sure," and we got on with our conversation. So I had to phone them a little bit later, and I definitely made sure that I knew exactly what was going to happen, and that I had the words to say in Spanish back to them the next time that they called, and that I knew how to ask in Spanish to speak with them in English. And while this was the first time that someone had spoken Spanish to me, and I had been totally shocked and not ready for that, it's definitely not going to be the last time, and I'm definitely aware of that. Now, back to my visa. So, on my way to Argentina, I'm actually stopping in Toronto, and I'm having a layover. And during that layover is when I'm going to the consulate and getting my visa from them. I've never been to Toronto before, so it's pretty cool that I get to go to a different country and I get to see parts of my own country that I've never seen before in my entire life. And here's another exciting thing. So there's actually another exchange student from Canada that will be going to the same city as me in Argentina, which is kind of interesting because he's from Vancouver and does all of the Canadian things that I can't do, like plays hockey and speaks French and stuff. So I think it'll be really exciting to have two different people representing two different parts of Canada, different perspectives, different lifestyles, all of that in the same place. But we'll both have a lot of the same values and we share a language. So I think that'll be really amazing as well. So that concludes my video of total random things 30 days before I leave. And last, but of course not least, I'd like to thank all of my donors. Your support is what is allowing me to go on the journey of a lifetime, and so I could not be more grateful to you for that. And of course, I would also like to thank the Rotary Club of Edmonton Northeast for A, providing me with these lovely banners to take on my trip, and also for their sponsorship. Adios, mis amigos! Until next time!